Writers use the conditional mood to express uncertainty. Let's practice writing sentences that contain verbs in the conditional mood. Make sure you have your Learn Zillion practice sheet in front of you because you'll need it throughout this lesson. Let's review. Verbs are said to have moods, which basically means that they are used for different reasons and in different ways. In English, we have 5 verb moods: indicative, imperative, interrogative, conditional, and subjunctive. In this lesson, we're going to focus on using verbs in the conditional mood. Now, most of us use verbs in the conditional mood every day without even thinking about it, but it's helpful to know why we do this and when we do this so that we can be sure to use them correctly in our writing. Verbs in the conditional mood indicate that something might happen, depending on a condition. Whether or not that verb happens is uncertain. It may or it may not actually occur. Let's look at some examples. If she rented a car, she could pick us up. If she rented a car is our condition. Her picking us up depends on whether or not she rented the car. In other words, it depends on this condition being met. She couldn't pick us up if she didn't rent the car. Let's look at another example. If everyone were to pitch in, we would have enough money to order pizza. If everyone were to pitch in is our condition. This next statement, we would have enough money to buy pizza, could only happen if our condition were met. And one more. We might go to the pool if the sun comes out. This time our condition, if the sun comes out, is at the end of the sentence. The action, we might go to the pool, depends on this condition. Now, in each of these examples, our condition is an if statement, or a clause starting with the word if. This is a really common marker for the conditional mood. Whenever you see an if statement, you should look for the conditional mood. Also notice how in each of these statements, I've used the words could, would, and might before the main verb. The conditional mood always uses these words before the main verb. Let's do a quick practice. Which of these sentences uses the conditional mood? Put a check mark next to your answer. Remember to look for an if statement and the words might, could, or would. Pause the video while you work and press play when you finish. You should have chosen sentence C. This sentence uses the conditional mood because it has a statement that will only happen if a condition is met. The condition is the if statement here, if I save enough money. And the word could comes before the main verb, buy. Here's a draft of a paragraph that I've been working on. Read the draft, and as you read, look at the verbs around our if statements and see if they are written correctly in the conditional mood. Press pause while you read, and play when you're ready to continue. Did you notice any if statements in this paragraph? Remember, an if statement gives a condition, and another event in the sentence might happen only if that condition is met. I notice one here, if I chose to become an engineer like my father. Go back through the paragraph and underline the 2 other if statements. Pause the video while you work and press play to continue. You should have underlined, if I wish to pursue a job in communication or marketing, and if I wanted an opportunity to be more independent from my parents. In each sentence that contains a condition, or an if statement, the uncertainty of the dependent event should be demonstrated with the words might, could, or would. One of these words should come before the main verb. So I'm going to look at each of the verbs that are dependent on the condition and ask myself this question. Let's start with my first sentence containing a condition and ask ourselves this question. The event that depends on this condition is my attending Georgia Tech. I will only attend if I chose to become an engineer like my father. So I want to make sure that I've used one of the might, could, or would words before my main verb, attend. How about this? If I chose to become an engineer like my father, I would attend Georgia Tech, one of the best engineering schools in the country. Now, I've shown that my attending Georgia Tech is conditional. It will only happen if the condition here is met. Let's take a look at the sentence containing our second if statement. We want to use the conditional mood for the verb go, because this is an action that may or may not occur, depending on the condition. If I wish to pursue a job in communication or marketing. Remember, the conditional mood is formed by using the words might, could, or would before the main verb. So how can I revise the sentence using the conditional mood? Put a check mark next to the revision that uses the conditional mood correctly. Press pause while you work, and press play to continue. You should have chosen sentence B. Because the sentence uses the word could before the main verb go, this is in the conditional mood. So my rewritten sentence would look like this. We only have one more sentence that needs verbs in the conditional mood. This time, you try fixing it. Remember to use one of the might, could, or would words before the main verb in your revision. Press pause while you work and play when you finish. Your sentence should be rewritten so that will is changed to either might, could, or would. I used the word might for my revision, but any of these words would work. And now we're finished. Take a look at this revised paragraph and notice how we've used verbs in the conditional mood to show that some events are uncertain. Press pause while you read and play to continue. Now it's your turn to give it a try all on your own. Read this draft and revise it using what you've learned in this lesson. Press pause while you work and play to continue. Now edit your own writing. Look at your writing and add the words might, could, or would before actions that are dependent on a condition being met. Now you know that writers use the conditional mood to express uncertainty. This will make your writing much clearer.